Stay at home on 9 to 5, raising your babies with joy and pride. A real ass mom, you're a real ass mom. Taking care of business. Ooh, girl, you're resilient. 'Cause you're a real ass mom. A real ass mom.
Welcome to the Real Mama Pod. Real ass moms sharing real ass experiences. The things people don't tell you.
Hey, Mama, hey.
Hey, Mama. What's up, friend?
How are you?
I'm doing well on this rainy Saturday. The weather is not the best, but we're going to make the best out of today.
Yes, and we're recording on a Saturday, so
Yes.
we are live. We're in the studio, y'all. Our episode got sponsored.
Yes.
Yes. So if you are looking for Airbnb, a quick getaway, a solocation, if you want to work from home but not work from home, peer space, those type of things, this is the place for you.
Need a spot for content creation,
Yes.
such as ourselves.
You see this beautiful wall?
Yes. So many cute pieces. Like, there are some real staple pieces.
And y'all see it on our stories. We'll advertise a little bit. And
Absolutely.
you get to see the space, but it's perfect. It's so cute and quaint.
Absolutely. Very homey.
Yeah. So
But
we're at the
has
Cedar Mist
character.
Cottage in Atlanta.
Yes.
And thank you to our wonderful sponsors for sponsoring this episode and giving us a space to record in live.
Yes. Shout out
Yes.
to our sponsor.
Yes.
She
Anyways,
knows we love her.
well, we have a special guest today.
Yes.
As you guys can see, right? if you're watching on YouTube, because you know we are starting to put our videos out on YouTube now. You know the Real Mama Pod is growing. Y'all said y'all wanted to see us, so here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. So, and if you're listening, that's fine too. I don't really look at visual podcasts. I'm more of a listener because I listen at work.
On the car.
Yeah, on the car. So I don't really get a chance to watch the videos. But if you're watching us, hey y'all.
Hey.
Hey mama, hey. Anyway, well, our special guest today is Christina Williams, and she is a single mama of one. She holds a very special place in my heart. She's another one of my sorority sisters who I had the pleasure of bringing in or pledging. So she's like my baby. Like her line, they're all my babies, right? So yes, she's a little older than me, but she's still my baby. Yeah, we have her, and we're just gonna dig deep into this single mama life that she lives. She wear her badge of honor very well. Her baby Avery, I can't believe she's going into first grade. Like, we literally almost watched her be born. Like, she had her, and the next day we were at her house. So it's just crazy to see. Right, first grade. Avery's a first grader. So really talk about what it is to be a single mom, what that looks like. I mean, because she's been doing this by herself since day one, y'all.
And doing it well.
And I know we have a lot of listeners who are single moms, and we want this to be special for y'all because in my heart, y'all hold a near and dear space there because, I mean, when Jerry goes away I was alone up to like 6 months one time, like, yo, I'm about to lose it. So I can't imagine doing that all the time. So when I say I have so much respect for single moms, like, I mean, I can't even put that into words, like what I feel and, you know,
yeah, absolutely.
I feel about it. So I know that was a long intro, and I kind of dragged that out a little bit, but please welcome Christina to the Real Mama Pod.
Thank you.
Hey, Mama, hey.
So what's going on? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great today because I'm getting free for the rest of the night.
Yeah. So tell us about your journey to mamahood.
Yes.
Well, being fully transparent, it was a complete nightmare.
Yeah.
Which y'all already know, but I was involved with someone that I didn't really date very long before I got pregnant.
Right.
I trusted the things that were told to me. Initially, I bought the dream that was sold.
Right.
And then once I was pregnant and announced it, he was very, very clear about his desire for abortion to be the option that I chose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and even went as far to like pressure me to do it until I decided to separate myself from the situation.
Right.
Yeah.
To protect myself and be able to make a decision on my own and really do what I felt was best for myself.
Yeah.
Because I realized that I was probably going to be doing it alone if I was gonna have a baby. So after a while, I spent some time praying and talking to my mother and just figuring out what was going to be the best path. And because of where I was in life, I was in my career, I was supporting myself pretty well. I was in transition, figuring out what school I was going to be teaching at, because at the time I was a teacher. But I decided that I was going to keep my baby, and I had to really like swallow the pill of single motherhood from day one.
Wow.
You did, like we said, you did well then, and you're doing well now.
Thank you.
Yes, very proud.
Throughout my pregnancy, it was tough because obviously I was sad, I was depressed, I was going through a lot. I was spending a lot of time venting to a close friend and struggling through the experiences I was having. And she told me that, you know, obviously she was gonna have my back and keep supporting me, but she couldn't do it by herself. So she told me that we couldn't be friends anymore unless I was gonna get into therapy.
Okay.
And that was really what saved me from all the bad things that were going on in my brain and the ways that I was feeling and just the hormones of being pregnant within themselves. So she basically stopped talking to me for like 2 straight weeks, and so I made an appointment. And that's when the therapist that I had been seeing over time, she introduced me to the idea of being emotionally abused as opposed to being physically abused. And she made me like make a list of comparisons of like, this is what clinically the description of emotional abuse is. How many of these experiences can you relate to? And that's when I decided for myself that, you know, this was not the life that I was going to continue to live, and it wasn't what I was going to bring my child into. So I separated myself 100% completely from my child's father and embarked on the journey by myself.
Yeah.
And then after Avery was born, it was like, I say this all the time, it was like everybody that came around to help, it was like y'all had a meeting of like, this is what she needs, this is how we're gonna do it, boom, let's go. Because I felt like every weekend when y'all weren't at work, I was still on maternity leave, but every weekend it was like someone new popping up to come and support me, spend time with me, or even just take Avery so that I could go to the grocery store because I wanted to get out of the house and be by myself and, you know, be able to be with my thoughts without all the pressure of the crying baby or whatever. So that is something I've always been very grateful for. To y'all and, you know, everyone else who was involved and who helped coordinate whatever it was. I don't know what y'all did, but it was exactly what I needed.
That's what community is for.
Yes. But I didn't even realize we were forming community at that time.
You just never know.
We just saw a friend who needed help, and we just showed up. I didn't know nothing about being a mom. I mean, I hope my mom raised my sisters, but it's different when it's like, you don't know what you're supposed to be doing for real.
But we know we're supposed to show up.
Show up and help and just tell us what you need.
Like.
No judgment. Just if you want to cry, cry. If you want to go lay down, take a nap, we got the baby. We'll figure it out. And wow,
that's literally what happened.
I didn't even realize we were doing that in that moment until like just now.
Full circle.
That's crazy.
Community.
Yeah,
dang.
Y'all killed it.
You killing it.
Well, thank you.
I'm trying. So, like, being a single mom, right? And of course, Avery is a little older than what some of our listeners may be at this moment, right? But still, you had to have like a routine, right? You had to like put things in place so you can feel somewhat normal and not alone and things like that. So what would you say like a routine is for you and, you know, to keep you going and all of that jazz?
Initially, I didn't have a routine at all. I just was doing what I had to do, waking up every day, knowing that I had to have childcare set up so that I could go to work, and then get home and get some sleep so I can do it all over the next day. Now the routine, well, it's been a little different because it's summer. I've been working as a teacher for 7 years, so now that I'm on summer break, you know, every night I've been chilling. We've been going to museums and seeing movies and, you know, traveling out of town to visit family. School is about to start for her again. And this will be my first year that I'm not going back as a full-time teacher. So I'm looking forward to her being able to go to school and me being able to figure out exactly what my next move professionally is going to be.
Okay, I love that.
And we, you know, we support the moves. Whatever professionally makes you happy and feel full.
Yeah, it's something that I've been hesitating on for about 5 years, like quitting and then going back, you know, over and over. But I realized that, like, when I'm miserable with what I have to do every single day, then I don't function great as a mom. So I'm looking for opportunities to kind of create a professional space where I can do what I love, not be, you know, ball and chain to a classroom or even somebody's office. Like, remote work is the goal at this point. And
you're into writing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You had a whole blog. I remember that when Avery was first born, and you wrote a blog.
Writing is the path. If I can write for a company 8 hours a day or however many hours they need, then that's what I'm gonna try to do.
That's awesome. We're gonna claim that. We're gonna put that in the universe. We do that all the time in the Real Mama Pod. So just say it and let's do it. Let's put it to action.
We'll hold you accountable.
Yeah, we will. We'll be checking in.
So what do you love most about being a mama?
I love that I'm watching her, like, literally grow into a person, an individual. I mean, y'all know Avery is a performer, a singer, a gymnast. She has such a bubbly personality. I raised her to speak her mind. From the very beginning when she was developing her language skills, I didn't baby talk her. We talked to each other. I taught her how to really, like, speak clearly about what her needs and wants were. I mean, obviously it made it easy for me to figure things out too, but now as a 6-year-old, it's like, oh, I've created a monster.
A little you?
I mean, you know, let my mom tell it. She is exactly like
everybody mama say,
right.
Yeah,
but I enjoy just watching the ways that she grows and she explores. I like seeing the mistakes that she makes and you know, watching, like, how's she gonna handle this situation? And what I take pride in most is that, for the most part, it came together because of what I'm doing to teach her how to be a human by herself. So
I love that. So we talked about some of the joys of motherhood and what you love most, but what are some challenges that you face, especially as a single mom?
I'm learning to now finally make space for myself and create boundaries with the people around me so that I don't overextend myself.
That's a word for all mamas, despite single mama, married mama, co-parenting mama, whatever. Like, that's a word for any mom.
Some of my experiences have been like, I appreciate so much what people do for me, so I always am thinking about how I can reciprocate or just show gratitude. So if someone does reach out to me and want something, my natural response is like, okay, I gotta figure out how to make this work. But more recently I've gotten to the point of, I need to really look at the space that I have to offer someone else. And if I don't have space, I have to be brave enough to say no. And I've learned that lesson just from watching how others say no to me. When I do ask, which really is not that frequent, but if someone says no to me, I understand now that it's because they don't have the bandwidth to extend. And instead of taking it personally, I take it as like a tip, like, oh, I need to know how to say no as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's hard. It's hard saying no.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially if you feel like this person really needs the support.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no.
Yeah.
That's a skill.
It's a skill.
Learning how to say no.
It's scary for me because I don't like telling people no.
Yeah.
I have a reputation, you know, among some of my social circles
Yeah.
of being dependable. So
Yeah.
saying no is like,
It's a Leo trait.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
I
Because we are
hate-
loyal to our core.
Yeah, here
so
go
it's
these
like-
Leos again, y'all.
Don't hate.
Love us. Love
Y'all
us.
cool. Y'all cool.
So yeah, I think it's definitely a Leo trait to just be loyal to the core. It doesn't even matter if like somebody's not loyal to you. It's like you have something to prove sometimes. But motherhood has definitely changed that for me. And now I'm like, hell no. It's not just a no, it's just a hell no. So yeah, so I do like that aspect of I actually have the balls now to be like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And you take it how you take it. Like,
Yeah.
And let's try to find a way to get the support you need.
Right.
Like, I'm
Yep.
saying no and
yeah, I'll still offer
like,
you resources.
yeah.
No, but did you try this?
yes.
No, but
I know somebody
right.
who can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me put you
Yeah.
in contact with
Exactly.
this person. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And another thing that I've really been forcing myself to accept and embody is like not taking things personally when people have when people display their own shortcomings,
Right.
whether it's in my co-parenting challenges or even with just friends that are growing and developing in their own individuality. If I encounter something that I don't like, I had to teach myself like, it's not about you.
Yeah.
It's not a reflection of who you are as a person or where you fit in this person's life most of the time.
Right.
So just being able to take a step back and create a boundary for myself to not impose my feelings on another person
Right.
just because I'm taking things a certain way.
Right.
So what are some challenges that you face and how do you decompress?
My biggest challenge right now in parenting is co-parenting.
Mm-hmm.
My child's father is somebody that I did not date long enough and get to know
Right.
well enough to be having a baby with, but
Right.
you know, it happened and it is what it is. But I recently decided that really setting a boundary of this is what respect looks like, and if you can't live in that space, then you can't communicate with me. I mean, it is what it is. Instead of engaging in the arguments and the disagreements or, you know, the battles of control, I just state what I'm available for, what I can or can't do. And if it doesn't work, then okay,
Right.
maybe next time.
Yeah. So how do you decompress? Like, how do you just step away from whatever the challenges are or these long days that you may have? Like, what does releasing Christina look like?
It's been a long journey because for most of my life I functioned in a space of like bottling things up and then blowing up at the most inopportune time, of course. So the ways that I've really pushed myself is by, of course, praying to keep myself sane or to keep myself balanced. I've started to try different things that I never really considered before, like practicing yoga, researching different spiritual aspects of like how to balance your energy, becoming aware of like the chakras and what it means within your life and how it helps, how it makes you perform on a day-to-day basis and what you can do to balance them. I was in therapy, but now that I'm in a professional transition, I'm pursuing it on my own. So ironically, it's a lot of me just Googling things based off of the previous diagnoses that I had and really deep diving into what they mean and how they affect me so that I can understand the way that I'm presenting myself to the world. And then also studying those things helped me to understand other people as well, because I mean, we're all on a journey.
Yeah.
So if I'm noticing that someone is acting a certain way, instead of me, of course, making it about me or feeling, taking things personal, I am able to understand others better by continuing to, seek out that information and be informed about this happens because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't like to exercise, so that's not really something I do too much. Like yoga is the extent of
That's
any
exercise. Yoga is hard.
It really is.
Yeah,
It's a lot on your body.
Yeah.
I'm definitely at the beginner stages.
It's okay. It's still hard.
Yeah.
And then also I just am very particular about the type of content, because social media is so important in our lives right now. I'm careful about the type of content, either online or even in person with other people, that I allow to come in and impact me. I'm in this space of like radical positivity where I'm speaking positive affirmations over my life, or instead of allowing myself to go down the road of negative thought process of how, thinking of a million ways of how things can go wrong, I'm gonna stop myself and think of a million ways things can go right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
I love that.
And then
positivity.
Yeah, and then surrounding myself with people who are aligned on the same path in their own lives.
I love that.
I recently prayed and asked God to like connect me with people who could relate to what I was going to, or even extend compassion. And I've been making a lot of new friends who are either single mothers going through their own experiences, or they're just younger women who are dating and trying to figure it out.
Right.
Extended compassion.
I love that.
Yep.
You were dropping some gems, girl. Woo.
I'm on the path.
Yeah, you are.
Journey.
So with being a single mom, right? Village, I would assume, is very important, right? So do people just show up for you, or do you feel like you have to ask for help a lot? Because I'm the type of person, like, I hate asking for help. Like, it just grinds my gears. Like, I just want you to look and see that I need help and say, how can I help? Because I'm that type of person, right? So I don't expect people to do that, but I want people to do that.
Yep.
Because I can be a prideful person. So what does your village look like? How are they supporting you? Do you have a village? What does that look like?
I feel like my village is in transition. Like initially, like I mentioned before, a lot of the people that helped me were people from school or from Delta, who just, either talked to each other or saw me and knew that I needed help and showed up. I think that because of my own inner shame and embarrassment of like the experience as a whole, I kind of closed myself up. So people don't really show up for me so much anymore, but I think that me learning to just accept that things are the way that they are, or not feel so embarrassed about the decisions I made or anything like that, is allowing me to open back up.
Yeah. It's a process. It's a journey, like you just said.
Yeah.
And whatever that journey looks like is what it looks like.
And you know what I admire most about what you just said? You didn't like place blame or try to be a victim, right? You said, I did this. This is the consequence, but now I'm trying to do this to fix that. And you don't really see that in people these days. Everybody's like, nobody showed up to me and they knew I was going through this, but they still didn't show up. Not what I did in that moment to shut them out, right? And a lot of times as women, we do that, whether we are with child, without children, whatever. It's just like we expect people to read our minds. And the fact that you took accountability in that moment says a lot about you and your character.
Yeah.
And I know you said you felt some shame, but it's nothing to be ashamed of, because you have a beautiful baby girl. And I'm a firm believer that God does everything for a reason, whether it hurts us and if we don't understand it, if we can't make sense of it, but you have a shining star. Okay, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a stand for Avery. I'm saying that because I know that. You know what I mean? And God put her in your life for a reason, made you her mother for a reason, and that is nothing to be ashamed about. I don't care how she got here. I don't care if her father
is who he is.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna bash him, you know. But you know, she's here for a reason, and you're her mother for a reason, and you went through this whole journey for a reason, and it's all gonna make sense one day. So I mean, cry if you need to, and you know we're always gonna be that shoulder. That I know I'm distant now because I moved and all that stuff, but we keep in contact. You give me updates and all that. I see how she is just this beautiful girl on social media. And I know her more than she know me, you know.
Back local again.
Right. Yeah. So like
we both moved away.
Yeah, and we moved away in a very critical time for you, but just allowing to see that quick moment of things was just beautiful, and just seeing the mother that you are today, like you were doing your damn thing, and that baby does not work for anything, and she doesn't know any different. No. And that's what's most important.
Yeah.
That's what's most important. So
come on, Reverend.
Yes, you know, I'm gonna get off my soapbox for a second. You know, but I did want to highlight that. I know a lot of times, and I struggle with this mom guilt, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just like, why is that? Like, it should be no mom guilt. You're doing the best that you can.
Yeah.
And probably better than what you had. You know what I mean? Because we only get better with time, right?
Absolutely.
And education and knowledge and all this stuff. So, like...
And experience, trial and error.
Yes. So, be proud of the mother that you are, the child that you have. You're doing an amazing job, and it's nothing to be ashamed about.
And mamahood is a journey.
It is a journey for
like,
sure.
Oh, I've accomplished this in mamahood. I'm done. Every day is a new day.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, I find myself extending that compassion for other people because I can see what they're going through, but I never turn it on to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, extend that compassion and grace for yourself.
Yeah.
We have to, I know I gotta extend a whole lot of compassion and grace for myself, because there are days where it's like, is this life for me?
Right.
Like, am I doing this right?
Make the right choice.
Right, did God choose the right mom?
Right.
You know, because there are some dark days.
Yeah. Yeah. And the dark days are always talked about, like, especially on social media. Like, it's like, oh, I love motherhood. I love my children every single day, and they're the best, and they're doing this, and they're doing that. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it's just like, but that's not the reality of it. And so you go into this thinking it's supposed to be one way, and it's really the total opposite.
And that's why we have this platform.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
to really talk about real stuff, the unknowns, the shit people did not talk about.
Right. So, seriously. And we talking about it, we highlighting it, and thank you for being vulnerable with us, because that was a very vulnerable moment. And I appreciate you for that, because that's going to help somebody, because you're not the only person who feels like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Whether you're a single mom or not.
Yeah. Right. You could still be in a whole marriage and a whole relationship and still feel alone.
Yeah. I have friends who, you know, initially I admired that they did it the right way, and then listening to their day-to-day lives,
in the right way, in quotes, just
that's why the right way. They got married first. They, you know,
there's no right way.
There's
it's God's way. Right. And God already know the plan before we even, you know. So it's just like,
all right, Reverend instructed.
He already knew the plan before we even did it. So it's no right way. It's God's way. Exactly. And our job as parents is just to be the gatekeeper and protect those children and try to give them the best lives that we can give them. Yeah. That's all we can do. They're going to be what they want to be. They're going to do what they want to do. And that's that. Yeah. That is that. That's not a reflection of
life
you.
Life is going to life.
Yeah, life is going to life. Because it's lifing.
That's another bar.
All right, hey, I told you I got bar. We about to come out with a whole soundtrack.
You're
right.
No.
No. Can we have a production pause so I can clean my face?
Say what?
Can we have a production pause?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
Thank you. I'm going to pause that to break up the video. Should I pause it or?
Yeah, my face is bright red.
Should I pause it, friend? The video?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just my water bottle. All right. So, dating as a single mama, what does that look like for you?
So far it hasn't really been fun, but it's been a learning experience. It's another one of those things that I had to really step back and look at the situation for what it was. I felt like I was attracting the trash of Atlanta. And
so this is what the dating scene in Atlanta looks like.
I'm not gonna say that that's what it is. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say that what I feel like my experience has been is that I attract what I am. In the space of when I got pregnant in 2015, I was functioning with low self-esteem, self-doubt. I attracted someone who reflected all of those things to me, not only within himself, but also to me and about me. Over the years, I have had unfortunate experiences of guys with commitment issues or, you know, shutting out their capacity for emotional expression or just acknowledging the fact that emotions exist because we are human. And with those type of experience, I realized that they were showing me what I am. I did not make space for my emotions
What you
because
What you were.
True. What I was, because at the time I was not making space for my emotions. I did not acknowledge them. I did not accept them or process them in a healthy way. So I was attracting people who were going through the same journey. I also, you know, just I felt like, why date when dudes ain't gonna show up for me when I need them anyway? I realized it's because I didn't show up for myself. I didn't really fight for myself the way that I deserved. So again, a space of accountability where, you know, I can't blame them for being what they are because that's what I was. So right now I'm not dating because I'm focused on me. And it's not that I don't want to or that, you know, I'm this independent woman who don't need a man. I'm definitely not in that space, and I don't want to be there, and I'm not going to ever be there because I do want partnership and companionship and someone who will be the proper father figure for Avery, someone who will grow a family with me, whether they bring their own kids to join mine or, you know, we have our own kids in the future. But I realize that will happen when I'm in a space that's the energy that I'm giving out. That level of positivity that I'm emitting is what someone who is in that same space will, you know, magnetically attract to me.
So you're focusing on you, which is great, because you can't give if you're not, you know, you don't know who you are, where you need to be, where do you need to be, or where do you need to be in life to feel fulfilled, to feel confident in who you are and what you can be to someone else. So it's good that you're taking that time and you've identified that as a space where it's like, I'm gonna focus on me and be okay with it. I'm making this choice. Nobody's making it for me.
Yeah, and I'm not, you know, recalling these experiences with judgment, you know, where if somebody that I have been involved with in the past watches this and says, dang, she's dogging the hell out of everybody that she dated. It's not that, it's just I'm committed to my growth, and the person that is meant to be my partner is going to be committed to their growth. I'm not expecting someone to show up perfectly, but I'm not accepting that negative energy, that low vibrational, dysfunctional, you know, all of that. I don't have space for it. And this is just me showing up for myself and really believing that I deserve the things that I want. I don't feel like God would have put these desires in my head and my heart if they weren't meant to come to fruition.
Absolutely.
Oh, girl, you were saying so much.
I know.
Today. Oh, wow. Okay, so I have a few more questions about dating. So one thing about me, I am a hopeless romantic.
Okay, of course.
So I want to know, one, the guys you have dated, this is a two-part question, it's kind of all over the place. Have they been like receptive towards you being a mom or having a kid already? And the second part of that, what is the best date you've been on since being a mom?
So being receptive, I always, like, as far back as college, when the opportunity presented itself, I always wanted to date guys that already had children.
Oh, wow.
And I know that that's odd, because obviously that's something that most women today are like, no, I don't want to date somebody who has a kid. But I like to date guys that have children because that lets me know what I have to look forward to
Okay.
if I were to go down that road with them.
Right.
I dated a couple of guys in college that had kids, and you know, it's college, so it's only so much
Yeah.
validity you can give to it. But now as an adult, you know, especially living in a city like Atlanta, I take into consideration the ways that these men show up in their own children's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I see someone that is falling short, I'm probably not going to spend too much time with them and give them the opportunity to create a space for themselves in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because what I'm looking for in a partner is someone who is going to fill in the gaps for Avery.
Right.
So as far as someone, what did you say?
Your the best date you've been on.
Oh no,
There's that hopeless romantic
Yeah.
coming out.
I just want to know. I don't know. You know, we talked about some deep stuff, so I want some lighthearted stuff too.
I haven't really been on like what I would consider to be an amazing date.
So if you haven't been on one, then what is your dream date? Then
I would like to go on a date where I don't have to plan
okay.
or figure out anything. Like I want to dress up and show up and enjoy myself.
You told what to do.
Yep. I don't want to have to figure out the restaurant. I don't want to have to.
So it can be a restaurant.
I mean, whatever it is. I'm not particular about stuff like that because I understand that in dating people do what they can.
Right.
I'm not even the type of person where I feel like somebody has to ball out on especially not like a first date.
Yeah.
You know, we all got lives and bills, so
Yeah.
I'm not expecting somebody to drop. I'm not expecting somebody to drop, you know, bands or whatever on a date. But I just feel like something that I can tell you put some thought into.
Right.
That's what really matters to me. Yeah. My dating experiences now are definitely intentional. Like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They should be. Shoot. Who got time to waste?
Right.
And even when I've met guys randomly who, you know, just approach me, I let them know from the very beginning.
Right.
If I don't feel the connection is right, or if I see things going left in a direction that I'm not going to go with you,
Right.
I'm not going to waste your time. I'm
Right.
going to let you know that I'm not going there.
Yeah.
And I will politely, I don't know those people, I politely let them know that this is the end of the road for me, and I hope that you can
Wish you well.
Yeah.
I wish you well.
Basically.
So has anyone ever made it to the point of meeting Avery?
Okay, so the way that I date is anybody can be Avery because everybody's a friend until they assert themselves as more than that, and no one has asserted themselves. So Avery is aware of a bunch of friends, and she may ask about them, and I, you know, if it's somebody I'm not dealing with anymore, then I'll just say, oh, we're not friends anymore, and that's really just the end of it.
Okay.
So because I don't get much help in parenting, so I had to figure out a strategy where I'm not limiting my opportunities, but I'm also not exposing her to more than what she would need to see. So
balance.
From her perspective, these people are just friends.
Okay.
And you know, I don't get affectionate with people, with guys in front of her, because
so what does that look like? So if everyone's your friend, say like you have a Netflix and chill, I guess. Let's just say that.
If something like that was gonna happen, it would be at either like
at her bedtime.
Yeah, after her bedtime, or when she's gone with someone else for the weekend. Because I have friends that will pick her up, you know, and want to take her to go do fun kid places that I definitely don't want to go. So, you know,
yes, take her.
Or people who have their own version of baby fever or kid fever or whatever. And I'm like, oh, here, sure, take her.
Practice.
So, yeah, for potentially intimate situations, usually she's not around for that. But for the most part, if it's casual and nothing serious has been established, then, you know, whatever we can, if we're going to grab something to eat, my daughter's with me, keep it chill. I had an experience where like a guy that I had been seeing for a while came by my house and brought us breakfast. And, you know, she was home, obviously. We had, you know, we were hanging out, and he took it upon himself to set that boundary where, you know, he was using the guest bathroom in the hallway as opposed to like the one in my bedroom that he would normally use, which, you know, at first was a little odd to me, but I understood that like he had a respect for the situation that I'm in, and he knew, he accepted, he understood that the perceived friend zone was where he needed to be if Avery was going to be around him to observe it.
And he was a father as well?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So, all right. So I like that. I've never heard that perspective before. It's mostly like they can't see my kids or my kids can't see them, and vice versa. But if everybody's a friend, I think that's okay too. Yeah. Like whatever works for you.
And that's it right there. What works for you and not everybody else. What works for you and your child.
Oh yeah, I've definitely received criticism from people who have intentions of protecting me and protecting Avery about, you know, she doesn't need to be meeting these guys. But I mean, some of the guys that I've dated in the past are my actual friends.
Right.
So if I present everyone as a friend, I don't feel like damage really can be done.
Yeah.
And also just my desire in dating is to date someone who starts off as my friend.
Yeah.
So that regardless of what happens between us, the friendship will be honored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether we break up or, you know, go in different directions or whatever, because we have established that friendship, the respect will always be there.
I like that.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Christina.
Yes, this is really good and eye-opening, and I really appreciate you being vulnerable, like I said earlier, because I just feel like, you know, sometimes single moms get like a bad rep, like, oh, the angry mom because the relationship didn't work out, or they just want to be the man and the mama too, and things like that, and we don't always get to see this side of things, right? So I think this would be really helpful for our single moms out there. What do you think, Frank?
I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
I think it is great. And I'm happy you were able to really share your story and be vulnerable in that. And really just talk about all the layers of your experience with being a single mama. So I personally, I thank you and appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for allowing me to share my story.
Yeah, of course.
That's why we have this platform.
Absolutely. Yeah, what we drinking tonight?
Y'all know we coming with the mama juice. All right, so today's episode's drink is called Focus on Me.
Can you focus on me? Let me stop.
On Devin's singing right now. She has many octaves going on at one time. But the name of this drink, so Christina, you actually said this in one of your responses to the questions, is you're focusing on you, right? And for this drink, I'm gonna tell y'all the ingredients, and then I'll tell y'all my little story behind this drink.
Okay.
So, I have two things actually to say. So the drink has 3 strawberries muddled together with mint leaves, a half an ounce of lemon juice, and an ounce of simple syrup. So you muddle all that together, and a fourth of a lemon wedge. So you have fresh lemon juice, and then you also have a fourth of a lemon wedge. Muddle all that together, then you add 2 ounces of whiskey. You put it in a shaker, shake it up real good, and you pour it over ice. So I'm going to say that again because I know I mixed it up a little bit. So that's 3 fresh strawberries, mint leaves, a half an ounce of fresh lemon juice, a fourth of a lemon wedge, and an ounce of simple syrup muddled up together. Add 2 ounces of whiskey, shake it up together, pour it over ice. And if you want the mocktail version, you'll have those strawberries, you'll have those mint leaves, you'll have that fresh lemon juice, that fresh lemon wedge, and you can add the simple syrup depending on where you are in your pregnancy. You can add the simple syrup, shake all that up together, pour it over ice, and you can add a splash of either lemon lime soda or sparkling water.
Yes, and this is my type of drink.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The reason why I said the focus on me, one, Christina's a whiskey drinker with me.
Yep.
So the whiskey and the strawberries, it's like, focus on me. Like, there's a lot going on in this drink, but the strawberries is the star. It's like, focus on me, despite all of the other ingredients that are around it. So yes, that is our mama juice for today.
And it's so tasty.
It gives me like whiskey mojito.
Yeah. I don't usually like mint, but I don't hate it here. I don't hate it in this drink. I actually like it.
That's funny. Yeah, so I love that.
Wow, I'm happy you liked it, Christina.
Thank you. I feel special that you remembered that I like whiskey.
We are intentional about our drinks, and so far, knock on wood, all of our drinks kind of aligned with our guest.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been hitting it on the head.
Yeah, we're intentional.
We're intentional. Well, at least try to be.
There you go. We do try to be intentional about everything that we do.
So our next segment is Mama's Corner.
Oh, Devin's
which is
favorite
my
segment.
favorite. I know y'all hear that probably every time y'all listen to this podcast, but it is my absolute favorite. I love reading the emails that we receive, the DMs, text messages, or whatever, however you get us the information. I love it. It makes my day. Like, it really does. I'm like, Kendra, we got Mama's Corner. But sometimes when we have a guest, especially in person, we kind of reflect a lot. So keep sending in those messages because we will read them on the podcast. But I did want to be a little reflective with Christina, especially since she's so open about everything.
Yeah.
So Mama's Corner is a segment of our show when we are able to connect with our listeners. So whether you want advice or want to give us advice, if you have a mama hack you want to share, if you want to vent about your toddler or teenager, this is the spot for you.
Your grown child.
Your grown child. Because I hear them college kids be driving people crazy too.
According to our parents, we drive them crazy.
Right, still. At what,
and they're called grandparents.
Right, exactly. So, I kind of want to be reflective with you, and to all our single moms listening out there, what advice can you give them? Just give them whatever it is that's on your heart that you would like to share that you feel like will be helpful for them in their journey.
First, I would say to give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up about the way things happened or the past or the things that you're not so proud of. I would also suggest asking for help in whatever way you can, whether you invite someone over and don't tell them that you need help, or if you call up your best friend and say, I really need you to come over and help me, whatever way you can get help, don't be afraid to ask for it, because these experiences are not, we're not supposed to go through them alone.
Yeah.
And there are people who obviously want to help if you open your mouth and ask for help.
Right.
Yeah.
And then just enjoy the moments of growth and learning, because no one's perfect. We're all human, and not only learn from the experience you have, but enjoy the fact that you are learning and you are growing.
Right.
That's the space that I'm in right now, and I don't know, like it's an emotional space, but it's also something I'm really proud of.
And you should be.
Yes, you should be.
Yes.
You've come a long way, so.
Very proud of who you are, who Avery is, and just, it's been fun being on this journey with you too.
Yeah.
Watching her grow. I told you my mama still call Avery, what's that little girl that used to call?
I know, I need to reconnect with your mom.
She asks about Avery a lot.
She does.
She said, I seen her on Facebook. She's just so grown now.
Yeah.
She sounds just like Mama Jo. Just like her. Well,
Thank you
that's
so
really
much,
good.
Christina.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So for those who may want to connect with you, may have a question, may want some more advice from you, since you're 7 years in the game.
May want to kick it.
Right. They want to kick it. Maybe in Atlanta, but look, I'm looking for some single mom friends. How can they connect with you? How can they reach you? Where are you on socials? Are you off socials? Like, what's the best way?
Email, whatever works for you.
I do have an Instagram.
Okay. I know you get off and on sometimes. So,
yeah. It's love_Christy42.
Okay.
So
And we'll have that in our description box too.
Yeah, so if you come with a great vibe, then I'll probably accept you and make friends. I do have my blog. I haven't written on it in a long time, but just the very beginnings of my journey, I decided to write about them. Well, actually, my therapist at the time told me that I needed like an outlet, and writing is my skill, my superpower. So I started a blog. It's on averysmommy.com. AVERYSMOMMY.com /blog, and I think that's it.
Okay. Well, I love that.
Yeah, we'll have all that in the description box.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
I look forward to
Fran,
connecting with people.
of course, absolutely. How can the people find us on the socials?
We're at The Real Mama Pod on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. What other socials? I think that's it. I think that's all we got. And my personal Instagram and Twitter handle is at Kendra Ferg _. That's KENDRAFERG _.
Now I'm at Dev Grace _. So that's DEV as in Victor, Grace, GRACE _. We also have Mama merch. Check out our website. You can check out our website at www.therealmamapod.com. If you want to write us to Mama's Corner, feel free to do so. And that is at mama@therealmamapod.com. And don't forget to write us a review.
Yes.
Wherever you stream your podcast from. Write us a review. Like, we are always looking for ways to grow, feedback, all that. We love that. We really try to take your advice into consideration when we're doing new things. And as you can see, we started from just audio, some sketchy audio, to better audio, to video. I'm pretty sure the video is going to be kind of sketchy at first, and then we're going to get a little better. So just bear with
Layers
us.
to this
Yes,
growth.
thanks for growing with us. Like, we really appreciate y'all. Y'all have no idea. We do this for y'all. And then lastly, if you're in Atlanta, check out this beautiful home, Cedar Mist Cottage. And that information will be in our description box as well. We guarantee you will love the space. It's so cute. Yeah, I think that's everything.
I think we got it all covered.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're watching on video or if you're listening.
Yeah.
Thank you. We love
Thanks
you
again,
guys.
Christina.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, good night. Bye.